Hey, it's Sam, and I'd like to tell you a story that taught me how to go from one high paid gig to the next high paid gig pretty much constantly throughout my whole career. And it probably worked for business and sales in general as well. It's not obvious, and it's not about doing great, fantastic looking work. Frustratingly, it's actually a lot simpler than that, and I hope that it helps you as well. I was doing one of my first TV shows right at the beginning of my career. It was a school drama. We had a big school hall that we wanted to fill with about 2,000 students. The production couldn't afford to hire 2,000 students, but they could afford to hire 100. And then it was my job in visual effects how to direct them, how to move them from position to position on the floor, how we can multiply them up so we can take 100 up to 2,000 to bring this great high production value to the show. The DOP is filming it and is using a new camera at the time, which was called a Red camera. This dates my story, it's about 14 years old. And the first few cameras that came off the production line, they all had a problem with them, but we didn't know that at this time. We're filming this, it's probably the most expensive day on this show. Everything has to go smoothly. We're filming it, the DOP is looking through his viewfinder, and to his horror, he starts seeing these pink squares that just start jumping up randomly all over the frame, and then blue squares that just pop up randomly. And did he see that? Is he imagining it? So he's getting really frustrated because if this is a problem, he doesn't actually have a backup camera with him, and he really should do. And this is really weighing on his mind, especially because this is the big high production day. This is the shot that's going to go in all the trailers. This is the shot that the producer is going to use to show that he can give good value to the production company. It comes to lunchtime. We've been filming a while like this. He takes the Red mag, gives it to the DIT and says, just go and check the footage. The DIT takes it. He comes back slowly. And of course, the actual problem is baked into the footage. It's not just a problem with the viewfinder, it's on the very footage that we need for the show. This is a horrible, soul-shaking moment for the DOP. He takes his work very professionally, he has his reputation to consider, and he wants, he's friends with the producer and everything, and they're relying on everything going really well on this day. I look at it as a visual effects person and thought, hang on, it's only 1 or 2 frames at a time. The frame before it is fine. The frame after it is fine. So what I can do is use the frame before and after to make a new frame using pixel motion estimation technology, which is actually just a one-click thing in the software. So I can invent that new frame, even if there's like a little bit of movement between them, and you cannot tell at all. In fact, it's completely perfect. So actually, it's really simple. When I said that, I looked at them both, the DOP and the producer, and I said, I'm confident that you can keep on filming and I can go and fix this. This is a big thing because I was new to them at the time. But they did trust me, not like they had much of a choice really, and we carried on filming. The pink and blue squares keep popping up. We finished the day, they're sweating now. I go away, and a few days later, I come back, I put the whole visual effect shot together. I've taken these blocks of 100 and multiplied them up to 2,000. And there's not even a hint of a problem of these pink and blue squares, and it looks absolutely flawless. And when the DOP sees it, and when the producer sees it, they say, thank you, Sam, for saving us from this nightmare. And because I impressed them so much in that, they actually brought me back for series after series after series. In fact, I did 6 more series with that DOP and producer. I actually did way more complicated stuff than that in this show. I had 3D tracking, I did fluid simulations, all these kind of things. But that didn't impress them as much as removing the pink and blue squares, because when you really listen to your client, you find out what worries them, what gives them nightmares, what gives them doubts about their own future, and you can come in and fix that problem for them. They will remember you forever, and that will impress them much more than doing glamorous stuff. It's about what they need exactly in that moment, being close enough to them. So when you see they have that nightmare, you can come up with a solution. And that creates these great, long-lasting, almost loving bonds. And that is how I have managed to keep going from one high-paid gig to the next paid gig, not because I impressed powerful people like a DOP or a producer, but because they know lots of other people and they can recommend you to other people as a lifesaver.